It's tempting to think more people means more progress, but the best teams don't scale on command. Alexandr Wang shows how to onboard leaders slowly, keep founders in the loop, and grow without shattering momentum. Investors may push to hire executives early and move fast. Alexandr Wang warns, keep the founder loop tight. Let newcomers absorb how you work. Rush it, and you'll break compounding innovation.
One of the things that you've talked about is a mistake that you made during the go-go times of 2020 and 2021 around hiring, and this notion that in order to scale, you had to hire a ton. And it's something we saw with all of our portfolio companies. What were the lessons that you learned through that process, and then how have you changed how you've done things afterward?
It feels very logical that more people equals better results and more people equals, more stuff being done. But rather paradoxically, I think if you have a very high performing team and a very high performing org, it's nearly impossible to grow it dramatically without losing all of that high performance. A very high performing team of a certain size is almost like this very intricate sculpture and this interplay between all the people in the team. If you add a bunch of people into that, even if the people are great, it just screws the whole thing up. Startups work because you have very high performing teams, and you want to keep those high performing teams intact as long as you possibly can. I think a common startup failure mode is that you have something that works, but everybody in the company is really junior. So then things are scaling, but all the wheels are kind of falling off. Your investors tell you, hey, you should hire some executives. So you go through these exec searches, you bring in exec, and then you give the exec a lot of rope. And your execs say, hey, we need to hire a massive team for us to hit our results. And you're like, yeah, I'm pretty experienced. You seem really experienced. Let's do what you say. And the reality is I think this almost always results in ruin. I think that this isn't to say that you can't hire executives from the outside, but I think what you need to do when you hire executives from the outside is they really get steeped in how the company works. And before they make any major sweeping suggestions, they get into the rhythm and the operations of the company, and they understand why does the whole thing work in the first place? Why are the things that are working? And then they make thoughtful suggestions. Initially, they take small steps, and you sort of you trust and verify each of these small steps, and eventually maybe they can make more sweeping suggestions. And this is where we've made mistakes, is you're not buying some magical bag of goods that is going to bring this magic formula into your business that will all of a sudden make the whole thing work. The other thing, on the flip side, there's a founder fantasy, which is, oh, I'm going to just hire a bunch of incredible execs. They'll do all the stuff I don't want to do, and I'm going to be able to sit back and just sort of watch the cogs happen and watch the machine work. And that's also extremely unrealistic, because the reason that you are a good founder CEO is because you make very good decisions over and over and over again over an extended period of time. And to pull yourself out of those decision-making loops would be kind of crazy.
That's a pattern we've seen a lot, which is I'm going to hire executives, I'm going to step back a bit, and then it's oh shit, realization that hey, some big decisions go wrong, and wait, this is the point of me being here.
Yeah, I think that a lot of startups and a lot of companies are valuable because of an innovation premium. Investors believe that founder-led companies are going to out-innovate the market. And so your job is to out-innovate the market. So
you better be in the strategic decisions and everything. Yeah, for sure.
Idea Vault unlocked. We've cracked open hard-won lessons and distilled them into sharp, actionable Q&A so you can unlock progress faster. Let's dive in. Can hiring more people slow you down? Yes. Great teams thrive on speed and trust. Add too many people and you create layers, delays, and meetings that kill momentum. Hire only to fix a clear, ongoing problem. Protect momentum. Measure output before and after hiring. What's the biggest mistake with executive hires? Don't hand over too much control before they understand your business. Let them learn how you work. Start with small, measurable goals and grow their role after real wins. Build a huge team is not step one. Set weekly check-ins for the first few months. Should founders step back and let executives run it? Not early. Keep the core decisions on product, people, spend, and pace. New executives need time to learn how things work and why. Start them on a small pilot with clear targets, weekly check-ins, clear limits, and a rollback plan. After 3 or 4 clear wins in a row, widen their scope. Hope this sparked a big idea, or at least challenged your thinking. Hit like, click subscribe, and join Future Pulse, where sharp insights meet bold visions to shape how tomorrow's world gets built.